driving through the Mojave Desert, and I'm wondering if there's some BLM land I can pull up on. I imagine I'd probably see the stars really nice tonight, and also I just saw something for NASA and the Air Force Base, so maybe even see some aliens. I'm in the Mojave Desert right now, and the sun is setting, and there's going to be a full moon in a few days. What's the moon? Up here. But it's so nice and cool out here. Oh, it feels so nice. I'm walking barefoot. I'm going down some dirt road, and I'm gonna camp here for the night because I think the stars are gonna be really beautiful, but it smells really bad out here. Looks like there's a fire over there. I'm gonna go a little bit closer to the road. Like a little turn-off spot up here. I'm probably just gonna pull up over here. Sunset's so beautiful.
Run, 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 I'm a sucker with a gun, and I'll make you pay for the things you've done to me. To me. On your knees and you still blame me. Did you think I'd stay just to let you leave, leave, leave?
This is where I camped last night.
Oh, it's so spicy.
So I was thinking though before, the reason why I turned off this video camera was how do I look for someone that's standing next to me, watching me? How do I look right now talking into a camera? I started to judge myself, like, but for me, I feel like it's something that I'm doing to face my fears. I mentioned that I had not so nice stepmothers. You know, I mentioned that in a previous video. My youngest daughter made this bowl. I love things that are homemade. I really love that. The energy it was put in, not from like a factory or something, but it was handmade. And so it has their own design. Nothing's the same. There was my favorite book in 2nd grade was called The Boxcar Children. And ever since then, I always was excited. I was in 2nd grade. I really wanted to I wanted to live in a train car. In the story, one of the kids has a little cup. His had a little chip in it. So in a way, I feel like the boxcar children I was thinking about whether or not I should say this because, you know, I like to keep everything somewhat cheerful. That's all we come in here to do, right? To be cheered up. But I, want to be honest about my life because it's something that I feel when we look at people like movie stars, it's something that's not obtainable, and that depends on what you're trying to obtain. And so for me, I really love nature, and I don't really want a lot of stuff, and I only want to stuff, kind of like what Maria's trying to say, is to have things in your space that bring you joy, because it really makes you feel happier when you have everything has energy. Every little piece of thing that we have in our life has an energy to it. It is attached to a feeling of how it makes you feel. And I want to have things in my life, in my space, and those type of people that make me feel good when I'm around them. It's okay, yes, to have a bad day now and then. You have a friend that you can lean on, and but I'm talking about people that will take your energy and they don't fill up your bucket. They just take, and like the little book that I read to my students, the bucket filler. People got to fill your bucket too. You can't just give and give and give to someone else's bucket. After a while, your bucket becomes empty. This is new for me, and I wanted to document my journey. And the videos I do, usually it's just in the moment. In the beginning especially, I took videos of what I thought was beautiful, and then I would go visit it. Right now I'm doing and that's why I'm putting this up in the video that I'm making currently, or that I just made currently, and this is October. Those were from the summer. And I have like a lot of videos that I'm working on the John Muir Trail. It feels like a dead person is hanging on my back and trying to drag me back, drag me down like a dead weight. And I really am excited to share them because it's about creativity, and I have fun like putting them together. You ready to go? Let's go. First aid kit. I'm gonna go over to Muir Trail Ranch and see if they need any help. Maybe I can get a job working there for a few days while I'm healing my back. I got hired as a volunteer to do housekeeping, and so I get to stay here for free. I get to do the hot springs. I'm rushing to set up my tent right now. There's a storm coming in. You can't be in the wilderness without a tent. That's your shelter. I'm also facing a fear because I was very fearful of a video camera. This is gonna get dark for a second. When my dad was with my second wicked stepmother, is what I would call her, my dad and her would hide a video camera and it would be facing down the hallway. And this is like freaking in the early 90s. That kind of thing, hiding a video camera. I mean, we don't even like video cameras in our space. They got the teddy bears with the nanny cam, but this was literally, the video camera was, I'm gonna put my ramen down for this because I need two hands. It was one of those big, thick ones that you put on your shoulder and you look through. And it was pretty big, so you had to hide it in a way that, we couldn't see. They would leave for the weekend, and there was no go hang out like a normal teenager and watch TV. It was, we're gone, it's the weekend, you need to do your chores. And that video camera was facing down the hallway. And it was not the best quality, but you could see us going back and forth throughout the day. Maybe heard the vacuum cleaner. But what they had done was they placed an Easter egg basket on this hutch inside of the camera. It was to tempt us. It was candy in it. And they wanted to catch it on video camera. And so my sister went over and picked it up, looked at it, and then she felt guilt. So she put it back down because she didn't want to get in trouble. And we didn't touch it. And my dad and my stepmother came back home, done with our chores by then. Not too soon after, they called us, my sister and I, and we sat in little stools in front of the TV, like a little theater. And my dad turned on the video tape, it was a VHS tape, and we saw where the camera was angled, and we had to sit there and watch what they had recorded of us to see our reaction. And for some reason, my dad thought that my sister took that candy and walked off holding it. And she said, "No, I didn't do that. I put it back." He said, I can take this into my job, because he was military. And I can have it zoomed in, and this is the early 90s, so it's not like what we have now with technology. The camera was very grainy, so of course, he assumed the worst. But what's so bad about a kid, taking a piece of candy? that's left out for them, and it was Easter. So yeah, my sister remembers that day, and she said when we were older, she's like, yeah, it's like I can't win either way. I'm being honest and I'm getting in trouble, and I should have just taken the candy, is what she said. So that's just a little sample of the wicked stepmother story. Because my dad wasn't like that before her. When he was a single dad with us, he was an awesome dad. But there was just something about these women that he would date, especially the last one that he married. Well, not the very final one. Here's the icing on the cake. The last woman that he married, she ended up passing away. She left a child behind, and my dad raised this child, and then my dad passed away a few years later, and I think partly from a broken heart and guilt, and I've been raising her ever since, and she's the one who made the bowl. She's taught me a lot of things. She tells me some of the things that Dad did with her. It reminds me of when Dad was a single dad, how he was. But I hadn't seen that side of him in a long time. And so when she told me some of the stories of how my dad would tuck her in and sing to her, it made me feel good, because I thought how my dad had changed, and he wasn't like that when we were kids. He wasn't the type of dad that said I love you and gave us hugs and kisses, and so that's why it's so hard for me because I remember the last time I saw my dad, and he was on the phone, and I said, "Bye, Dad," and I gave him a hug. Had I known that that was going to be the last time that I would have hugged my dad, I would have given him a very big hug. I'm on the old Route 66
That's alright.
through this little town.
That's alright. And that's alright. That's alright.
Tell your family. Now remember, you made that pledge to the Most High in you. Keep your word.